Even though it's their uniforms that are making a splash, Pennsylvanians are still proud of their athletes. There are huge numbers this weekend, not just for the Super Bowl, but for retailers. Some 25 bands are marching here in Washington today, but only one is from Pennsylvania. The same storm that took out these trees also took out 911 call centers in the D.C., Virginia area for several days. Just last night, there was a bar fight out right across the street at Fat Cat's Bar and Grill. Vanity sizing is a lot of smoke and mirrors for retail merchandisers, and one of its main goals is to help individuals feel better about themselves. Middle school students riding a bus taunted and verbally abused Karen Klein. The kids recorded themselves harassing Klein and then posted the video to Facebook. The life of one local family may seem normal with talk of spelling bees, science fairs, and camp. But life has been anything but normal since the day their first son was born 9 years ago. Congress has some decisions to make soon before important fiscal deadlines kick in at the end of the year. It comes down to two options. One would be do nothing. Taxes will increase for everyone and we'll see budget cuts across the board. This is what experts like Brookings scholar Thomas Mann call going off the fiscal cliff.
They would virtually eliminate our deficit problem over the next decade if they went into effect. The negative side is it's too abrupt a shift in fiscal policy.
The other choice would be to continue with tax cuts like the Democrat-led Senate voted to do last week. They would extend the Bush-era tax cuts for people who make less than $250,000 a year. Republicans don't want to raise taxes, period.
I've quantified it here as an $800 billion plus tax hike. The latest proposal from my friends on the other side suggests that we might be in for a much, much bigger tax increase even than that.
Thomas Mann says regardless of the options each side presents, Congress will continue to go back and forth, a virtual deadlock.
It strikes most people as just buying more time. We've heard about tax reform forever. I don't see any hint of Republicans and Democrats actually facing up to the implications of tax reform.
Senator Toomey sees a short-term solution.
I think we ought to do is extend all the current tax rates for at least one more year.
But a decision on the looming tax and spending issues is not likely before November. Congress goes on recess at the end of this week with plans to return for less than 2 weeks total between now and Election Day. In Washington, Caitlin Francis, Jet 24 Action News. It was raining outside in North Syracuse this morning as New York State Trooper Amanda Anna was laid to rest. The rain only stopped for the arrival of Trooper Anna's body at North Syracuse Baptist Church. The loss of Anna, a 6-year veteran of the New York Police, has brought thousands of people to pay their respects, including friends, family, and fellow officers.
Anytime there's a law enforcement officer killed, they're generally going to get a tremendous amount of support from the law enforcement community. It's a neighboring agency, state police agency. We do a lot of work with the New York State Police. They support us in a lot of our endeavors. They've been to our funerals, and we're just going to extend our sympathy and our support anytime a law enforcement officer is killed in the line of duty.
And those black bands across the troopers' badges, as well as on the sides of their uniforms, are a visible symbol of respect and mourning for Anna.
It's a tough time, and my heart's there, and all of us. A few of us couldn't make it, but we all know about it, and our hearts are always all there.
Trooper Anna's service also brought out people who didn't even know her.
And yesterday we were watching the news, and my daughter here asked to pay respect because if it was her uncle, she would want to see people line up and pay respects as well.
Anna is receiving a full inspector's burial for her service to the state.
Was blind, but now I see.
Trooper Amanda Anna was only 31 years old, and she left behind a 4-year-old son and fiance, also a member of the state police force. Fans in Pennsylvania and across the country are gearing up for the Olympics, but the official outfitter of the U.S. team, Ralph Lauren, has come under fire because of where the ceremonial clothes were made. A group of senators, including Senator Casey, said the outsourcing was wrong.
My reaction was the same as virtually every American, a real sense of outrage that these uniforms weren't made in America by Americans, especially at a time when we need to preserve every job possible manufacturing job.
The senators came to an agreement with the U.S. Olympic Committee, and from now on, all U.S. Olympic gear must be made in the U.S. Some think the lawmakers went too far.
They're looking for scapegoats, and China always makes for a good scapegoat, and you blend that in with the Olympics, and there's room for cloaking yourself in the flag and appealing to patriotism.
35 Olympic athletes from Pennsylvania are now prepping for opening day in London. Even though it's their uniforms that are making a splash, Pennsylvanians are still proud of their athletes.
We're very proud of our Pennsylvanians, and the type of uniform that they're wearing, where it's made, has no bearing on their performance. We wish them well.
This time, the U.S. Olympians will march in the opening ceremonies with uniforms made in China. Next time, they'll be sporting clothes from home. In Washington, Caitlin Francis, Jet 24 Action News.